today on 15 on 15.
The Happy Flow project has been named the most innovative airport project in the world. Plus, these claw machines that you put a ton of coins in requires no skill set to win. In fact, it is kind of rigged. And the implementation of a diverse after-school program will make an impact on Aruba's youth. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. According to Airport Business, which is the leading airport magazine, they recently published an article outlining the top 10 airport innovations in 2015 so far. Take a look to see where Aruba landed. The Airport Business article claims gateways all over the world are unveiling projects designed to enhance travelers' experience. Airports from across the world made the list, but coming in at being the most innovative is Aruba's Happy Flow project. The title reads, "The Happy Flow Biometric Passenger Token Project is launched at Aruba's airport." The article states this is the first of its kind Aruba Happy Flow project in which biometrics are used as the key identifier at all airport checkpoints. The facial recognition technology used to identify passengers at check-in, bag drop, border control, and aircraft boarding was emphasized on. Airport Business reveals the project is the result of a collaboration between Aruba, the Netherlands, Aruba Airport Authority, Schiphol Group, and KLM. The Prime Minister of Aruba was praised for heralding the launch of the pilot as an extremely innovative and important step in the transportation industry for passengers. In other local news, Aruba has signed a memorandum of understanding with World Bank. Here are the details. Individuals part of the medical field learned at the healthcare conference Aruba that this island is not the only one struggling with the issue of obesity. There are many areas we can turn to for help.
In the Caribbean, you have all those small islands. You have some characters that come facing the common challenges, common problems. For example, like obesity, overweight. Almost every island I go to, it's the problem. Doesn't matter it's in the Pacific or it's in the Indian Ocean or it's the Caribbean. You are facing the same challenges, so you can really share your experience how to address that. And I'm also thinking Aruba has been doing that really well on the preventive side of in terms of obesity. So you are doing really well.
A working relationship between Aruba and World Bank has come out of this week's HCCA.
Not only the supporting on the climate change or the other developments, there is also area in terms of the World Bank to supporting the Aruba on the health system development. And so I'm thinking that's to open the door to allow further collaboration between the Aruba and the World Bank and to utilize the World Bank's expertise, also the ability to bring the other experts from all over the world and integrate more to like a region. We do a lot of assessment to the region and have helped the region to develop their strategies. So I hope Aruba will be included in as part of the Caribbean and Latin American and for that development.
In light of the healthcare conference Aruba, more and more of the private sector wants to contribute and provide specific medical services for the community. CMB is one of them. CMB has joined forces with Best Doctors to provide a health insurance option. Together with Best Doctors, they are offering access to better care medical insurance internationally for individuals and their families. Private consultations will be offered. Patients will have a variety of specialists and hospitals around the world. The insurance covers up to 900,000 florins per year in medical bills. For more information regarding this new medical offer, go to www.cmb-bestdoctors.com. This is important to be aware of. It looks as though Aruba is becoming more health-oriented. The sister of tennis pro Nicolas Lapenti reveals making the transition from tennis to beach tennis isn't always easy.
I believe maybe with the style, maybe with the touch you can have, but you know, it's different. It's different. There's so many things in tennis that you can't do in beach tennis, and it's hard. it's hard to not do them, and you have to concentrate and try to play the sport as you should play it.
And don't go anywhere because we will be back with much more. So stay with us. When we return, we tell you the correct way to do breakfast in bed. Thank you so much for staying tuned. You are, of course, watching 15 on 15. This next story may anger the inner child in you. Do you remember the claw machines? You know, the machines filled with goodies such as stuffed animals or games. And in order to win a prize, the claw must fully grab onto the item and deliver it to the slot. Well, what if I told you absolutely no skill is required in maneuvering the claw to win? To win at this claw game requires zero skill set. The machine is programmed to only go full claw and grab a prize if it has already made up for the cost of that prize. Some would say, hey, that's not fair. So at the end of the day, no matter how careful and strategic the player was, if not enough money has been inserted in the machine, the claw will not open up and close up fully, leaving the player at a disadvantage. So it all comes down to luck. If you as the user plays at the right time when the machine has racked up enough money, then you are most likely to walk away with the prize. So the best thing to do is to be patient and watch more players put their money in than get in on the claw action. On to the topic of weight loss, which is something so many people struggle with. There could be reasons why you are not succeeding at it. A recent study found there is little data to back up some popular pound shedding tactics, which could explain why so many women throw in the towel instead of reaching their goals. There are lies about weight loss that you should be aware of. For instance, there's a misconception that you should take it slow. Yes, rapid weight loss can have negative impacts, but your diet doesn't need to crawl along to lose half a pound per week, let's say. As long as you are going about it in a safe manner, it is actually even okay to drop 5 pounds in 1 week and lose only 1 pound in another week. Another misconception is that people think the fewer calories, the better. While this is true to a certain extent, but one of the main reasons people hit weight loss plateaus is because eating too little can slow down the calorie torching furnace known as your metabolism. Very good to know. For all the romantic lovers out there, breakfast in bed is awesome, but there is actually a proper way to do things so nothing gets spilled on the sheets. Check this out. Yes, there is actually a correct way to do breakfast in bed. To save your linens and to make your breakfast in bed experience as positive as possible, here are a few tips. Pancakes, peanut butter toast, and anything with jelly are basically the enemy. Instead, opt for foods that aren't sticky or drippy. Think omelets, bacon, yogurt with granola, and fruit. Here is another tip. Besides for choosing meals that aren't a sloppy mess, you can also prevent post-breakfast laundry by putting drinks in sealable containers. You can use pretty jars with lids on them to carry juice and coffee in. Let's take a really quick break. Here is a word from one of our sponsors. Aruba's youth is in need of extracurricular activities. Policymakers are ready to implement this. Details next. An after-school program for the island is in full swing as Prime Minister Ayman met with members part of the After-School Alliance in the United States for proper guidance as to how to launch such an educational system in Aruba. Prime Minister Ayman is optimistic regarding an after-school program. It is good for the youth on the island, and the leader believes it will certainly make an impact.
It is going to be something that will have an enormous positive impact as well on the level of education, on the social level, on the skill level of our youth. It is something that will really transform our society because having the opportunity for 9,000 kids to participate in a more safe atmosphere in different programs that will help them with their schoolwork, will help them with forming their own priorities.
The impact is more towards the older youth. Students are able to develop certain skills that they don't during school hours.
I feel like this is a really important initiative for the government of any country, but particularly in Aruba, to support after-school programs for older youth because of the impact it has on the lives of older youth. It allows young people to discover new passions, new hobbies, and potentially new professions, whether that is in science, technology, engineering, and math, robotics, or whether it's in the culinary arts or other skills.
Funding is necessary in order to have an after-school program. Here is an idea of where Aruba can get funding from.
So after-school programs in the United States are funded primarily through parent fees. So parents contribute about 3/4 of the funding, about 75%. And then the federal government puts in about 11%, which is a little over $2 billion a year that are funded through after-school programs. But the rest of the funding really comes from public-private partnerships. So local governments, but also industry, corporations, foundations who really see the value and benefit for young people, and therefore they invest in the future of children.
Engaging is key for extracurricular activities. Therefore, a diverse amount of programs must be offered.
School programs take so many shapes and sizes. They're very diverse across the country. There are sports programs, there are arts programs. I used to run an arts after-school program here in DC. The White House is right out that window, and then about a couple miles down on 16th Street, or off of 16th Street, is a great arts after-school program. There's academic programs, there's robotic programs, other science programs, maritime programs, sailing programs. All of what they have in common is engaging kids in interesting ways that they find interesting and engaging. And while they are there and safe in after-school hours, they are also learning great things that they can take into the rest of their lives.
Thank you so much for watching. Join us weeknights starting at 6:45 p.m. on ATV Channel 15 for your total coverage in local news within 3 different languages, starting with Pulso Latino and ending with Noticia Amanochi. And of course, 15 on 15 is right in the middle of that. We will see you then.